sports. It's in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready?
Get ready, dog.
This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Poss, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter rock, turn it up, we giving a show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about, space out your mind? But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, passing your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing, relieving the kings of all crowns. So are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all peak the flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about, space out your mind? But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Ready, set, stay back. Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all peak the flow. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter rock, turn it up, we giving a show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about, space out your mind? But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Ready, set, stay back. But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
Can Zeke deke again? Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. So with that, let's head over to the heart of Texas. Massive AT&T Stadium in Arlington. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, the streak continues, doesn't it? They come in a perfect 10-0.
And it's not just that they're winning, it's how they're winning. All phases of the game coming together for this team.
It's a tradition that began in 1966, and off we go on a Thanksgiving afternoon in Dallas. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Watch the slap, watch the slap.
Now a play fake here on first down. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Prescott from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Jeffers over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Check 24. Check 24. Check 3.
From the gun, Jeffers. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, an 80-yard touchdown, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing, losing team.
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today. So they got
when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
We got this.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And throwing here to start to drive as they connect left side. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. First down carry by Elliott. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Check the out. 26.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. We'll look now at our starting defense. Currently #1 in the NFL against the run.
And I know, just like me, you're fired up about this one because this is the irresistible object and the immovable force. They're going head-to-head, #1 versus #1. I've talked about that running backs renaissance for a while. Can they slow these guys down? Where's my helmet? I want to play.
Jeez, you are fired up. Something's got to give. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaking up down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Out there now, the lefty Tavecchio for the Falcon field goal. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Tavecchio puts this one through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision. Let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield.
I'm coming after you. Take 4, take 4.
Operating from the gun, Jeffers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jeffers. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Watch the whip.
From the gun, Jeffers. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch a slant, watch a slant, watch a slant.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 38, Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down. A first down throw for Prescott. Complete to his tight end, Seth DeValve. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Tavecchio good on the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you
Now you can go. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And his guys are going to take over at the 39.
That's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Devin Bush able to record his 5th sack of the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Devin Bush in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Prescott. He'll get that to devalve the tight end. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
A gain of 7 that time, 2nd goal. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back.
That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it's a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the route is on here in this first half. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. In 2nd quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand. Or nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jeffers, and he's going to go down again. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
We got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Convert. Show it up. Show it up. Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
They're going to try and throw. Going top shelf for Smith. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. 30, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. He's got it, and that makes our score 24-7. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Let's see what our player spotlight feature has in store with Dak Prescott. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to it.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Prescott, and he will find his man on the outside. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Here's Prescott. And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Throwing to start the drive. Jeffers, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, as the first half is winding down, and the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden, because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his second touchdown there. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Happy Thanksgiving once again from our gang here in Orlando to yours. We'll get back to AT&T Stadium in a minute, but first, Let's take a look at what's coming up later this holiday weekend. Some good games to look forward to in the early window, especially the one in Baltimore. A big one coming up for the Ravens as they'll square off against the visiting Houston Texans. Good stuff to follow on the West Coast in the afternoon window, one being out in Oakland, where it'll be the Raiders taking on the LA Chargers. And finally, on Monday Night Football, should be a good one there between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Indianapolis Colts. In the game you're watching, you've seen a strong first half out of Dak Prescott. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
He's checking out. Check.
On second down, Samuels. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
He's checking. Crash.
To throw on 3rd down. Jeffers, open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Steps away, and his throw's going to be incomplete. He misses yet again, and the struggles here, they look pretty uncharacteristic for him.
You're certainly right about that. Mechanics are the key right now. Feet, arm, not in sync at all. He ends up throwing that one past his receiver that's open.
Check 13.
Back to the air on second down. Jeffers. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 40. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. From the gun, Jeffers, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence, make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
I'm coming after you. Set.
To throw on second down, Jeffers. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 29-yard line.
Let's get off the field. Slam. Check three.
Throwing on 1st down, Jeffers. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 23 yards, the final tally. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Bang, 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 bang. Look, just wait. Watch the shot.
2nd and 1. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. From a yard out, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Boswell for the extra point. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. A 10-play drive that time, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
So here are the Cowboys to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. The dump-off gets him only 1, and now you're looking at a 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Going underneath here, the tight end DeValve. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the... We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
Shotgun handoff to Samuels. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip. Check 24, check 24. Hustle, hustle.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Jeffers, open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh 1st. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Here's 2nd and 8. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 11 yards there, 1st down.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
He's back to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Eli Harrell in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Switch, switch, switch.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now. This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. They'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now here comes the Steelers defense once more. And they're just trying to keep him out of the end zone. Obviously, a field goal does no good in this situation. So what's the appropriate amount of pressure defensively, Charles?
I think he's had a little more pressure than what is normal. If you normally want to send a 3-man rush, maybe you make it 4. If it's 4, maybe you make it 5. Anything to make sure that he can't just sit back there all day and find a target. And then you tell your secondary, play your normal coverage and maybe an extra step or 2 back.
Yeah, be careful that nothing goes over the top. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Now Prescott. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Now they do indeed get the timeout, so all is not lost. They'll have a chance for one final heave to the end zone. Prescott now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is